Hey guys, what if I told you you could burn fat, drop a bunch of pounds by doing absolutely nothing? That's what I did over 72 hours because I starved myself. It's called intermittent fasting, and it's pretty cool. In this video, I'm going to talk about why I did it, how to do it, and all the benefits you get from fasting. So before I go into that, I want to say that I'm not a doctor. This is not medical advice. Consult your doctor before you do anything. That should cover this video as a disclaimer. Please don't sue me. And if you're asking yourself, well, why did you starve yourself for 72 hours, 3 days, nothing but water and black coffee? The answer is it's not really for fat loss. Yes, you could use it for that, and yes, it will work for that. But for me, it's more of a reset. If you eat a lot of garbage, processed foods, like when I was overseas for months at a time and I couldn't cook my own food, didn't have a kitchen, you're out eating food out or you're eating MREs. And over time, that's really not good for your body. The amount of preservatives and chemicals, seed oils, all that just garbage, it racks up in your body and it can cause a lot of issues with your gut as well. So by resting and letting your gut basically rest, not become continually inflamed, it has a chance to repair itself, and it'll do so pretty quickly, actually. There's other benefits. I'm going to get into that in this video, like increase of growth hormone production or replacing a lot of damaged cells. But basically, that's why I did this, and I'm going to show you exactly how it went. And if you want to do it with your doctor's approval, then I'll show you kind of an easier way to step into it. So let's first talk about the benefits of fasting and why you would want to even do this. After 24 hours of fasting, your body basically starts depleting all of the stored glycogen. It's sugar that's in your muscles and your liver. Your body runs on glucose. Your brain runs on glucose. It needs that. If you don't have that in your body goes into gluconeogenesis, which it turns fat and converts it into glucose. Your body will get glucose somehow. By doing that, you start burning fat, but you have to be in a fasted state to even get to that point. Now, the first 24 hours, your body will start to, because it has no food, it says, well, we're not going to focus on digestion. What are we going to do? Let's start breaking down old damaged cells, tissues, break that down. It's called autophagy. So your body starts eating itself and recycling bad or damaged cells. After about 48 hours, your body boosts growth hormone. Some studies were showing 400% increase in growth hormone after 48 hours of fasting. That is crazy. And growth hormone is responsible for muscle growth and fat loss. So you want that, right? Growth hormone is a good thing. People pay thousands of dollars to get the real thing of it. You can just increase it by fasting by not eating anything for 2 days. When you start pushing that fasting to 72 hours, now we're getting a lot of immune replacement. So a lot of the immune cells are being replaced with brand new ones. Stem cells are being produced even more so, which is really good for the body. I had issues with my shoulders for months. I've had aching, sore shoulders. I do have previous injuries in my shoulders, and I had read somewhere where someone said, if you're fasting, your body will repair a lot of the damaged or inflamed areas that you have. So I didn't even think about this until a couple of days afterward. Honestly, this morning I was thinking, my shoulders aren't killing me right now. I'm able to sleep on them again. Like I couldn't sleep on my side because my shoulder would hurt too much. And I've had terrible sleep for months, and I haven't had that in the last couple of days and since the 72-hour fast. So that was pretty cool. There's a lot of benefits to fasting. Day one for me went like this. At 5 p.m. on a Sunday, I'm like, all right, I'm going to start the fast right now. I'm not going to eat until Wednesday, 5 p.m. Looking back, probably don't do that. Do it in the morning, right? Have breakfast Sunday morning, and then I'll have breakfast Wednesday morning. Reason is, all Wednesday day, I was just waiting till 5 p.m. when I could eat. It was kind of torture in a sense. Not really, but it's just not ideal, right? It would have been great to wake up, have a nice cup of coffee and some eggs and toast. That would have been ideal. Instead, I waited around and was, not thinking about it, but thinking about food. Day one, so I woke up on Monday morning then, had black coffee. Black coffee is okay when you're fasting. It will actually increase the autophagy. That is the eating of the bad cells and recycling of all that. Caffeine has been shown to boost that, as well as increase fat metabolism, which you want anyways, and that's kind of the benefits of a fast. By the end of day one, around 5 p.m., 24 hours in, I was really hungry. I hadn't been that hungry in a while, and I was like, damn, this sucks. People will be like, oh, you get past the hunger. Not on day one. Day one, you're going to be hungry, like legit. So prepare yourself for that. And went to bed, actually had a really good sleep. You'll notice that sometimes when you're fasting, you'll have very good sleep. The next day, woke up, had a cup of black coffee, then the hunger wasn't there yet. I had more energy. I felt more energized than day one. And the level of hunger it leveled off, right? The hunger leveled off, and I wasn't very hungry the rest of that day. Went to bed, it was fine. Didn't sleep great, but whatever. And then the next day, again, woke up, same level of hunger when I woke up, not crazy. Energy level was okay. I had enough energy I did some farmer carries around my neighborhood. So I was doing racked up here, hanging down here, and I didn't do anything crazy. You don't have the energy for like high intensity work. So then I just had some more water with some methylene blue and baking soda. I had that every single day as well. The only two things I consumed, black coffee and then water. And sometimes in that water, I had methylene blue and baking soda, which is very good for you. That's a whole another video on itself. But those things do not break a fast. There's no calories in those. So those are salts. So it's the sodium and then the caffeine. That's basically all I had. And on day 3, I waited until around 4 p.m. I went out to dinner, was eating by 5 p.m. with my wife. We had Thai. I had chicken Penang curry with some rice. It was so freaking good. Hey guys, so it's been 72 hours. I'm breaking my fast. Not making eggs. I lied to you. I'm getting Thai food. I've got Penang curry, and I'm super excited. So let's go ahead and eat some of this. The curry there is really good anyways, but then when you haven't eaten in 3 days, and I'm still thinking about it now, you just, to taste food, to have the taste in your mouth, to have consistency, something to chew on, is like you forget what eating almost is after 3 days. You're like, I haven't eaten in days, and you don't really realize how nice it is to eat when you finally do. So I had that, came home, I had a protein shake with another 50 grams of protein. I had a kiwi. I had a big chunk of sourdough with grass-fed butter and some raw honey. And that was it for the night. I just wanted food again. And people will say, oh, well, don't eat too much. When if you fast for too long, you can't have a big meal. Just eat until you're not hungry. Don't go crazy, right? But I was still hungry, so I just kept eating. And I was fine, right? Your body doesn't forget how to eat or digest food. It knows how to do that. You'll be fine. My wife was like, maybe you should just have like a potato, or maybe just like a piece of bread. I'm like, I haven't eaten in days. I'm going to eat meat, and I'm going to eat fruit, and I want butter, and I want honey. And I was fine. Now, the next day, I had a huge amount of Greek yogurt because I was still hungry. Your body's still hungry the next day. And I had watermelon, had fruit, had a lot of protein, eggs. Then I had Greek yogurt, a lot of Greek yogurt. And I had crazy gas and diarrhea that night. So maybe if you haven't had any dairy in a while, I'm pretty good with dairy as well, maybe don't eat like a whole tub of Greek yogurt. I don't know. It could have been, and maybe it wasn't that. Maybe it was just something completely unrelated. Who knows? Besides the diarrhea, let's talk about the stats. Let's talk about my stats. I started off at 187.2 pounds. I dropped to 184.4. So I dropped about 3 pounds. And then 2 days after the fast, I actually did another measuring, and I was down even lower to 183.6. And I was down 2.5% body fat from that Sunday. So from Sunday to Friday, I dropped 2.5% body fat, which is kind of crazy. That's a lot. That is a lot. And if you do the measurements, I lost like over 4 pounds of fat, which is a lot. In 1 week's time, people think, oh, I want to lose 10 pounds. I want to lose 20 pounds. You don't understand, if you lost 5 pounds of actual fat, how much that actually is on you. So I do look a lot leaner. I am leaner. And I dropped down from 11 to 10 on the visceral fat measurement. My body fat scale does it in levels. I don't know what it means, honestly, but I dropped one of them. So that's good, because when you are fasting, your body attacks fat around your organs, the visceral fat, that's in your abdomen. So if you need to attack like your gut fat, fasting is actually a fantastic way to target that because it starts breaking that down for energy, right? Your body needs energy. So that was very interesting. I don't like being this light. Being below 185 is not something I've been at in a while, and I'm probably going to bump those numbers up. A lot of people think this is a shock to the body. It is a shock to the body. So if you're thinking, hey, maybe I should be fasting, you can consult with your doctor first, but fasting is beneficial for, I would say most people that have doctor approval, of course, especially if you've never gone a day without eating. Most people have never gone a day without eating. Think about this, right? As humans, when we evolved, we were running around hunting and we ate whenever we made a kill. We didn't have a freaking fridge you could just walk up to and go eat food. Eventually, yeah, we started hunting and gathering. We had berries and shit, which was fantastic, right? I'm not saying berries are bad. That being said, we didn't eat all the time. We went days without eating. That happened. We lived, your body and your gut especially probably would benefit from not being inflamed nonstop, especially if you're eating shit food. If you wanted to switch and do like a detox, let your gut not be inflamed. If you ever had a cut and it was inflamed, it hurts. When food goes through your inflamed gut, you're irritating it further and further. Let it just chill. Let it chill. There was someone who wrote a book about the no breakfast diet. It was a doctor back in the late 1800s, and he started putting patients on diets. They would fast for like a month straight, and they got crazy healthy, dropped tons of fat, and they were fine. They lived. They didn't die. The idea that, you'll see people, oh, skipping a meal probably isn't healthy for you. Those are the exact people who probably should skip a meal if you look at them. You know what I'm saying? They're not the healthiest people. They're rotund. Don't take advice from people like that. It's okay to be hungry. And if you've never experienced real hunger, especially for like a shit hit the fan situation, any kind of emergency situation, how are you going to react when you haven't eaten in a day, in 2 days, in 3 days? Are you going to start freaking out? Are you going to give up and die? You know what I mean? People who have not experienced any kind of hardship like that, this can build mental toughness too. You could do this for mental toughness alone. I've been in situations where I haven't eaten for periods of time, right? Going through different training courses, doing fasting afterwards, 72 hours. Again, not crazy for me. I've done it before. It's not an impossible thing to me. I'm like, okay, yeah, roger that. I'll eat in 3 days from now. I'll be fine. I'll survive. I know I can. And doing that gives you that kind of mental toughness where you're like, I've been there before. I'll be fine. I can keep moving. You also realize how much you can actually do while being so nutritionally deprived. And it's a lot more than most people think they can do. So that being said, if you want to try it, remember doctor's approval, and then look at you can do 16-hour fast and this is something you can do. You do this kind of daily where you're eating like an 8-hour window, and that I've seen good fat loss results from that as well. Just body composition, if you're looking for that, that's one way to do it. You do a 24-hour fast once a week, and it's simple, right? You have breakfast one day, you don't eat until breakfast the next day. Not too complicated. Start with a smaller amount and work your way up. Don't just jump into, I saw Greg doing a video on fasting. I'm going to fast for a week. Probably not. Don't do that. Okay. 24-hour, then do a 36, maybe 2 weeks later, then do a 48-hour, maybe 2 weeks later, past that, and then eventually build up to a 72-hour fast. Now, how often do I do 72-hour fasts? 6 months to a year in between. I don't do it that often. It's usually kind of just like a reset things. Like I said, monthly, I'm going to probably start doing a 48-hour fast just for the growth hormone benefits alone. That's a huge little boost you can get. So growth hormone, 48-hour fast once a month. And like if I've done fat loss programs before, I have a program for myself, for other people, clients, things like that. And a weekly 24-hour fast, say like on a Sunday, is not a bad thing to throw in there if you're looking to get leaner. Just because, think about this, right? Resting metabolic rate. If I laid down and did nothing all day long, is 1,850 calories. Now, just moving around, being alive, talking and thinking, your brain uses calories. So you're over 2,000 calories a day that I'm not eating, I'm burning. So it's not being replaced. Think about that. If you do 2 days of that, that's 4,000 calories, at least minimum 4,000 calories you just burned. If you were to run or exercise to burn off 4,000 calories, you'd be running a marathon or longer realistically. The amount of effort you have to physically do to burn that amount of calories as opposed to just do nothing. You just do nothing. It's way easier. That's why when it comes to fat loss, nutrition is really 70% of it. Yes, you need to be working out to build, the musculature and the physique, but at the same time, if you're not eating properly, it doesn't matter. So that being said, I am not a doctor. Again, I'm not giving medical advice. This is just what I did. And if you are looking into fasting, do a little bit more research and see if it's right for you. I hope I answered most of your questions. Let me know if you have any more questions in the comments below. Let me know if you guys have fasted, and if so, how long did you do it for?